And he was talking about giving. So for him, it's giving. And he spoke about give and take, but for me, it's about not taking. And I think for me, this is where the shift is going to come in, because we can give generously. We can give our time, we can give our money, our food. But I think the crux is going to come around not taking. So the lessons to be learned from people that are living hand to mouth in an environment that supports them is that you know intrinsically what not to take. And you know that what you take is all that you can carry, not more. And I think these are the lessons that we all have to learn, from carbon footprint all the way down. I swore to myself years ago I'd stop riding a bike. I'm not riding. I think we have to, as people, start the discipline of not taking.
I agree. I think it's this hyper-individualism, competition, which is what I call the market subject. This is what capitalism wants, okay? But there's something else, and it's got to do with coloniality. So, domination, ecology, and capitalism have treated the indigenous historically as backward, as primitive, as not deserving of recognition, of subjectivity. They're invisible, okay? And I find that there's a funny revenge of history happening. That's why I'm optimistic. I'm not as pessimistic. So if you look at the big debates around the big biodiversity process, okay? And funnily enough, these things should come together, the climate and the biodiversity, but idiots that run the multilateral system have separated them out. And in the last study that they've done on biodiversity on our planet, they reached a conclusion. For the first time in a multilateral report, they're willing to acknowledge that those zones, those fields of biodiversity that are really resilient, that are really thriving, are in the hands of indigenous peoples as custodians. So there is some level of recognition, and so those ecologists and biologists trained in Western science, etc., are beginning to understand their limits. They're beginning to understand that, okay, look, there's something else here, okay, and it's real, and we've got to acknowledge it, okay? But we don't have to wait for that. We must start doing this in our everyday lives, in our communities. So the policy that Charles Simane has worked on and has brought in contributions and is developing together with all of us, the policy talks about this idea of decolonial convivial conservation. And simply what it means is we mustn't treat nature as the national park with all the animals. Nature's everywhere. It's all around us. And we need to become friends with nature wherever it is, in our backyard, in our neighborhood, and so on and so on. And that's upending domination ecology. It's learning in our everyday lives how to respect, how to care for these other life forms, and so on. And if we together start working on this, there could be an amazing ecological awareness and renaissance and shift that happens in our society. But this is there. The indigenous people have given us a powerful way forward, and we should embrace it.